Hi there, and welcome to Ivy League Counselor's Corner. There are technically 5 days left, but today is the count of 4 because the 5th day is the final 100th day. I hope that makes sense. Anyway, I've been thinking about this whole project, and when I set forth to do this, I really thought it was going to be tips and tricks all the way through, and I was thinking I would use themes from whatever was coming up in my private practice telehealth sessions, and that those would be the topics for each video. But I think there's been a sprinkling of that and a sprinkling of just tips and tricks and techniques and things. And then, of course, a sprinkling of just emotional days where I think I just talked about whatever was going on in the news often, or even with me personally a little bit. Um, and I think that when I look back at this whole project, I feel proud to have almost completed it. And I think that there's something really valuable about making a commitment to yourself as well as to others and following it through all the way to the end, no matter what. There is, I think, a phrase from AA. It's something like, if your ass falls off, you still don't drink. It's a little bit crude, a little bit of language in there, but it's a really good premise. I like where it's going. Like, the point being, no matter what happens, you honor that commitment that you've made to yourself. The other thing I like about it, and obviously this one was not just a commitment I made to myself, it was one I made to you, um, whoever the you is that I know is watching. Um, when I make a commitment to myself, um, one of the things I notice is it's an opportunity for what we call reparenting. Um, any of the ways that we may have been disappointed in the past by anybody in our lives, um, or any promises that may have been broken to us, we have an opportunity to sort of redefine what we believe and reestablish a sense of kind of goodwill in the world and a sense of trust and positivity. And when we make an agreement with ourselves, we have the power to come through for ourselves. And I think that's really important. And whether we do or not is also critical. Um, so that's kind of what's on my mind tonight. Also on my mind is Governor Cuomo in New York, who did the last of his 110 press releases today. And I guess he said something like they did something like 68,000 COVID tests, and out of them only less than 1% were positive at this point, which is amazing from New York, from where New York was at. Such amazing results. And what I can't get out of my head is, how do we get him to run for president? It's too late now for this next round, but perhaps in the future. Kind of would be amazing to watch somebody who came through for us run the country. Anyway, I try not to get too political on here, but that was just my thought, and I am putting it out there. So I guess that's about all for today. I encourage you to think about, what projects do you have or commitments do you have to yourself that you may have made in the last few months, maybe during the quarantine time, and have you honored them? And how does it feel? If you've honored them, how does that feel? And if you haven't, how does that feel? And what makes you stick to your agreements? And are you more likely to follow through when you've made a commitment to someone else than to yourself, or the other way around? These are all just questions. If you want to do a little journaling or work, feel free to pick them up and run with them. And if not, don't. I will be here with you for the next 5 days as we count down the end here of the 100 days conquered. And that's it for tonight. I'll be with you again tomorrow.